I'm Mr. Santamont, and today I'm going to show you how to do a random drawing exercise, and this is something that I do on my Instagram channel, and so you'll see the process here. So first I have a bag of adjectives, I have a bag of famous, and a bag of verbs. I also have a bag of nouns, but we'll just use something that everybody could recognize. So I'm going to go ahead and reach into the bag of famous and pull out a Hedwig, the owl from Harry Potter, flying, and stormy, so grumpy, I guess. I don't like flying, so I'm going to replace that with something more challenging, so painting. So stormy, painting, Hedwig, just kind of flip it around, and we have a stormy Hedwig painting. So I printed out some reference materials. Usually what I do is I look online, just have my sketchbook near the computer, but for you guys I'm just going to print it to show you how I draw from that. I'm going to flip the pose around and just draw Hedwig in an opposite pose here, facing the other way, and also turning her head toward the canvas that she'll be painting on. So I'm just skipping through the sketch process in my sketchbook really fast here. And then that reference photo is for her claw. She has a big feathery or big puffy claw for the snow. So she'll be gripping a paintbrush. And then I'm just finalizing some of the feather details, so I flip back to the other reference photo. And then of course the canvas she's painting on. So I'll draw that in perspective. And then a really simple easel. And then I'm just touching up, erasing some unnecessary sketch lines. And we're done with the initial sketch. The next step is to put marker paper on top of it, and the marker paper is translucent. I use the Strathmore 500 series, as you can see there. And then I'm going to trace it over with more confident and clean lines. So you can see I'm just making them really simple. At this step I could also use like a brush pen or micron, but I'm not going to be using any black marker this time. I'm adding a little background line just so I can have some environment. So looks like she's standing on something. Here are my supplies. And now I will begin coloring with my Copics. So I'm starting with a very, very light blue for the shadows, and then just coloring the easel. This marker paper is really thin, so it seems like the ink will just bleed right through it, but it's weird. It actually is contained. The ink is really good at keeping it all on that page and not bleeding through. So I forgot to draw a palette of paint, because how could you paint without a palette? And then coloring in her beak and nails in a really dark gray. And then of course the spots on her wings. So there's really not much coloring to a snowy owl, because they're mostly just white to blend in. And then a background. And the background in this case is really to make her pop out more, because otherwise it's just a white owl on white paper, which is kind of boring. So there's a dark gray background, and I'm just kind of giving it this like ethereal, kind of sketchy, you know, whatever, just to really focus on the canvas and Hedwig. Alright, just adding some darker shadows with a little bit darker gray, a cool gray, into her feet and underside of her tail. And now it's color pencil time. So there you go. Okay, so what I'm going to do now in this case is I'm going to use darker colors instead of a black outline, like I said before. I'm going to keep it a little more naturalistic looking, because this is like not very cartoony. So this image is more realistic. So I'm taking a dark gray and outlining the palette of paint. Dark gray, very thin color pencil, a Prismacolor. Just a hard lead that allows me to do really like thin, dark lines. And then my favorite color to use is the indigo blue, very thin. And I'm outlining Hedwig's wings. Now, see, there are times when black outline works well, like a cartoony scene like this, it works really well. But there are times where the outline doesn't work well, like that weird donkey thing. It just didn't turn out for me. But if you want to see more, you can just go to Instagram, follow me at John Saint Amant, and you'll see a lot of these random drawings and a lot more of my process, finished projects and works in progress, I guess you could say. Okay, I'm adding a little storm cloud above Hedwig because she is stormy. She's grumpy about her painting, not happy with it. And then cast shadow. And the closer the object is to the ground, the darker the shadow. And then I'll switch to a lighter marker for further away objects like the brush and the backside of the easel. And that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration of my random drawings. Thanks for watching.